Hello everyone. Today I'm planning to cover characters in Java, and to cover that it will not be a hard chapter. I will say it is just another data type. So if all the previous chapters are ready, so I think it will be the easier for you to grab the idea of character, and it will be a very small class because I do not have many things to show in this class. Gradually from characters, I will be entering into string. So first step before entering into the string part will be learning character. Okay, so if I proceed, so yeah, today will be checking characters. So prerequisite, I can say nothing as much. You just need to know, even not for loop even, or a bit of idea of for loop. Means it is just if you can write the basic queries, basic programs, then it will be okay to check this thing. So it is not that much, and if you are following the classes from the very starting, then it will be just a normal chapter for you. It's just a small chapter for you. So but yeah, after that you have to take some time in your hand and need to practice all of them one by one. Okay, then it will be helpful for you. Otherwise it is not like an online course that you will be doing that online course and everything you will be able to know. It is not like that. You have to practice enough. So first, what is character? Character is just a data type. Now what is data type? We have learned many things. Okay, let me go to the online compiler. So soon, online compiler actually very easy to use, do not need to install anything. But yeah, after a few days, I will be moving into some compiler as well. So first, let me show all the logical things here. And after that, when I will be starting the class and object, I will be moving into some software. So let it be like, I am doing int a equals to 10, something like that. So this int is a data type. Okay, we have also learned like how to take some numeric input. Suppose double b equals to 10.5, kind of that. So similarly, we will learn something new, that is character. So if I write char c equals to some value, not value this time, to hold some text. So obviously you are seeing means you are attending this class via mobile or via laptop, via desktop. So in your keypad, if you are from desktop, you will be desktop or laptop, you will be having some keyboard in front of you. You can see multiple characters in that keyboard. Okay, so it can be any value out of those characters written in your keyboard. So it might be s, it might be a slash, it might be a equals to, it might be a exclamatory sign, it might be even a semicolon, it might be anything. Whatever you can see in your keyboard, it might be anything. So if I write that, computer will not be able to understand like I am taking it as a character. He will think it is just a semicolon at the end. So what we need to do in this case, we need to put this character inside a quote. Obvious reason. If I say c equals to semicolon semicolon, or c equals to semicolon, you will not be able to understand when I am trying to make it equals to and when I'm trying to make it as a character. It is confusing for you. So same as it happens, same for the compiler as well. Compiler cannot understand, is it a part of double equals to, or is it a part of a character? So if you want to make it a character, you can simply write this. Okay, you can simply put it inside a quote. Otherwise, it will create some confusion. So that's the thing. Now inside the quote, you can put any character, any one character. Okay, either you can put one a digit, all of those characters available in front of you in your keyboard, you can apply any. So let me, in a similar way, means I can print a or I can print b. In a similar way, I can print c as well. C is a new data type which holds one character at a time. So if I run, you can see one is being printed. If I hold semicolon inside, because you can see semicolon in your keyboard in front of you, so semicolon will also be printed. It can hold any character, any character. I can put a, I can put B, I can put C, anything, any characters in your screen. Even I can put some weird character like space. Obviously, if I print space, nothing will be visible. But yeah, space, you can print anything in front of you. So now today we will be dealing, there is no use of A and B today, means integer and double. So we will be using character today. So this is the character. Now you need to know, similarly as integer, if you want to take an input from the user, how to do that. So to take a character input, you need to write the same thing, scanner st new scanner system dot in, kind of those lines. Just a minute. Yeah, at the front, import java.util.star. Obviously it is a easiest program. Some people learn it at the very starting, but I prefer to show that later and before beginning into string, because the most important part is always for loops. So I prefer to keep it away initially. So now if I run, okay, so first let me, in the same way I take an integer. Okay, let me take an integer as well. If I can take one integer, int a, suppose, and char c, then you will be able to understand how much they are similar. So I can write enter a number, and I can simply write a, okay, or I can delete both of them. I can simply write here int a equals to sc dot next int. So this statement was pretty odd at the starting. You might thinking like, what is sc dot next int? So the program I will show now for taking a character as input, it will be also, it will find you weird. Okay, so obviously you will find it weird for the time being, but obviously after a few days you will think, okay, it is again, it is normal. So if I write something, enter a character, let it be not text, enter a character, you might find it weird, sc dot next dot caret 0. So it is pretty much complicated, pretty much weird, but you can see it looks same, like same format, sc dot, after that instead of next int you have to put like sc dot next, and after that caret 0. This is the syntax to take character input. So obviously here I have to write char, suppose be any variable name you can mention. So now any variable name, suppose I can name it var1, and I can name it var2, variable 2, anything you can mention. But for the timing, I will keep it C. C is very small, C for character as well. So I will keep it as C. So now if I want to print in the same way, like an integer, I can print it as well. So I can write, you have entered plus C. That's all. So I'm not going to print integer anymore because we have dealt with integer so many times. So let me insert 10 as integer and a character called suppose X. So you have entered X. So you can enter anything. Okay. So that's the thing, but character holds only one character. So here as well, if I input multiple characters, it will only take the first one, but it is not all obviously preferred. You should input one character at a time, but still if someone did something like this, so it will only take the first character. Okay, because character only holds one character at a time. So that's the thing. Okay, so that is the basic thing of the character. If I go to the slide, so first question, if it comes like in that way, like enter a character and prints its ASCII code. So all of these codes, all of these characters means there might be many things. If I go to the board, so there might be many characters, A to Z, all of them, capital A to Z, all of them. It makes 52 characters already, 26 alphabet for lowercase, 26 alphabet for uppercase, 0 to 9, this makes 10 characters. What else is there? You can see above all the numbers, there is one character like these characters I am talking about. So there are many actually. So all of them are one character. Apart from that, comma, space, many things. So all together in a board, in a keyboard, it is 128 characters from 0 to 127, each of them having some number. So obviously you do not need to remember all those. You have to, for programming knowledge, you have to just remember capital A starts from 65 and small a starts from 97. That's only you need to remember. If you want to go further, means if you can remember many things, so you can also remember 0 starts from 48. So all of them are having a number. So in this series 65, B comes in 66, C comes in 67. So in that fashion, what will be the value of Z? Can you just imagine? Just pause the class here and just calculate what will be the value of Z. So in general, people says like 65. So Z is the 26th character. Z is, capital Z is 26th character in alphabet. That's why it will be 65 plus 26. That is 91. But this calculation is wrong. Why? If I want to calculate D, so D is 4th character in the alphabet. So D is, if I follow this calculation, so D's ASCII code should be 65 plus 4. It should be something 69. But if I go in this order, C equals to 67, D is 68. So it is just a basic mathematics. A is inclusive here. So it is a part of mathematics, not a part of computer science. So A is inclusive. That's why D will be 68 plus 3, not plus 4. So D will become 68. In the similar way, as A is inclusive, if you are not able to find the meaning of inclusive, then also you can find Z should be something like 90. If you count, it should be 90. So we do not need to know mathematics. We just need to know that Z, the ASCII character of Z will be 90. So now how to print this ASCII character? So suppose if I enter a character from the user simply, and I can simply print if I give int in front of C. So just changing the data type. If you can remember, we have already done that in the first chapter, like how to change a double variable in the first chapter on the first day, like how to change a double variable to integer. You just need to put int in front of the C. So if you do that, you will be able to see the ASCII code. So if I run this program once again, so if I write the character as a capital A, it should be 65. You can see you have entered 65, or I can give that ASCII code of plus C is int of C. Okay. So if I do that, it will be printed in that way. If I write those two things, you need to remember capital A and small a. So small a is 97, as I mentioned. So if I check the capital Z, obviously it should not be 91. You have to remember that. It will be 90. Okay. You can count it manually as well. You will check Z will be 90. So similarly, small z will be, I am not that good in mathematics, so it will be plus 25, 122. All right, so this is the way you can see the ASCII code of a number. Even if you prefer, you can follow this way as well. It will be a lengthy way, but still int some variable, suppose int I equals to, you can put it inside a variable I and you can print the variable I. So that is also okay. The same thing actually. There is no meaning to store that into a different variable. But if you wish to store that, you can do. Okay, I forgot to put the semicolon. Okay, if I run, something I'm doing mistake. Okay, bracket I forgot again. My bad. If I run the code, it is pretty much simple. No complicated thing like for loop, like array. So it is pretty much normal. If I write small z, it will be 122. So there is a ASCII code for each and every character. Even if I give space, and if I give enter, space ASCII code is something. Okay, space, I cannot give it in this way. So let me give some weird value like exclamatory. So exclamatory is 33. So you do not need to remember all those. You can simply enter and check. Okay. So for space, if I give space, it is thinking I'm not giving any input. That's why it is denying that. So we will check how to deal with space later. But for the time being, each character has an ASCII code. Okay. And it is very important as well. So not complicated. So if I want to do the reverse, I want to enter an ASCII code and print the character. What will be the solution? So the same thing, instead of doing this, instead of writing this two line, what I will do, I will take an input from the user. Like, so anytime you have the option to enter a character and you can check the ASCII code. If you forget, suppose you are in a position where you cannot access internet. So simply write the program, convert it into, take the input in C, convert it into integer, and you can print the integer and you can see the ASCII code of that corresponding character. So now I will do reverse, the same thing. So if you know the ASCII code, but you forget the character, simply take the input from the user and just convert it into character. So I do not want to use this extra variable. So I will just write something, ASCII code plus I means plus the character will be char something in a similar way. I have changed character to double, integer to double, double to integer. The same way we can convert from character to integer, kind of that. You cannot convert into in double. So integer means ASCII code, so it will be meaningful. So if I write something, enter ASCII code, suppose I want to check whose ASCII code is 50. So it will be 2. Number 2 means I have mentioned like 0 is starting from 48. So 1 will be starting from 49 and 2 will be starting from 50. If I check further, like I want to explore whose ASCII code is at 40. So 40 is something first bracket. Okay. So you can check it in that way. You can click any ASCII code and you can check the value, corresponding characters. So if I go further, so print the full ASCII table. Yeah, it is very important to print the full ASCII table to have an idea, because in our keyboard we have some functional keys, we have backspace, we have delete, we have tab, we have caps lock, we have multiple things. So if I want to print all of them, what should I do? Simply I will print it. Means I will use a for loop. As I have explained, it starts from 0, it ends at 127, and I equals to I plus 1. And if I run this query, means ASCII code of I means something, I will be iterating from 0 to 127. And for each line, it will be printing this, the corresponding characters and their ASCII code. If I run, it might sound some beep beep sound as well. You have heard probably. So if I check the full list, initially they are invisible because there might be some functional keys. There might be some other keys in your keyboard which doesn't possess any value. You can see after 10, it is a line change. Probably it is enter. After 11, it is something probably tab or something, I don't know. So something is there in 10, 11, 12. If I go below, you can see here 27 means after that line ASCII A is disappeared. So probably it is delete. There might be some backspaces as well. So there are many. Okay. So you do not need to know all those meanings, but here from 33, some visible codes appeared. So you can see the full list. You can see the full list. If I go further, you can do it in your machine as well. So you can see, you can hear some beep sound when you press some functional key or shift key. So everything is mentioned there. So till 127. Okay. So there might be some spaces, might be some backspaces. So many things can be there. Okay. So till 127, you have the data. Okay. So that is the full table. So you can play with that even. But for the time being, you just need to remember small a means for your journey, programming journey, you just need to remember A is 65, capital A, and small a is 97. So if I go further to solve some of the programs, like here it is mentioned, okay, what is ASCII code? ASCII code means American Standard Code for Information Interchange. American Standard Code for Information Interchange. So that is being termed as ASCII code. So whenever you are mentioning a character and an ASCII code, actually both are same. Actually both are same. So I will just prove that in this session. So it is asking for enter a character and check if it is uppercase alphabet or lowercase alphabet. So I know if it is uppercase, the ASCII code should be between 65 to 90, because we have explored few minutes back that capital A is starting from 65 and capital Z is 90. Similarly, it is 97 to 122. Even we have printed that full list. You can also print the same in your machine. So if anyone asks, like, okay, tell me if the user has entered uppercase, lowercase, or not an alphabet even. So what I will do, I will take the input. After that, I will convert it into the ASCII code. You can see I can convert it into the ASCII code. And after that, I will simply check if that value ASCII code, or I can give some name like ASCII, suppose. You can take any variable name. So if I take like ASCII code is between 65 and then ASCII code is lesser than 90, then I will simply print system.out.println. And like the entered string is entered text is okay, or I can simply write do not need to print anything long. So uppercase alphabet. So simply I can write this. So I can introduce a else if, and I can write something like if it is not between 65 to 90, please check if it is between 97 and 122 or not. If it is between 97 and 122, you can print lowercase alphabet. And if it is not between these two ranges, so probably user hasn't entered any character. It is something else. So I can write not a character, not an alphabet. So it is probably not an alphabet. So simply you can check the ASCII code, because we have already printed. We can see if I go to 65, you can see in 65, it is A is starting here. If you go below until 90, you will be having the numbers. You will be having the uppercase alphabet. Same from 97, lowercase started until 122, it will be plus 25 till 122, it will be Z. You can see. So I'm checking that range only. So if I execute this program, okay, so it is asking for a character. Suppose I have given W, so capital W. So obviously it will say uppercase alphabet. Okay, so if I run this program once again and if I give small I, so it will be showing like lowercase alphabet. If I run the program once again and if I give something called second bracket, so it will be showing not an alphabet, obviously. So now my point is not running this program. My point is you do not need to convert it into integer. You do not need to convert it into integer. You can simply check the character itself here. Do not need to convert it to integer, that we are comparing with integer, so I need to convert the character into integer. It is not required. You can simply put the character inside this and you can simply run this program. So this is the approach to whatever you feel free, whatever you are feeling comfortable in, which approach you can follow that. So it is the second approach I am applying. I'm not taking any integer variable. I am directly comparing those values. So suppose I have given capital B, so it will be uppercase. You can see if I enter small suppose small s, so it will be lowercase alphabet, something like that. So you can directly compare as well. So third approach is, even you do not mention this 65 even, third approach. So you can simply write if that entered character is between A and Z, then also it is fine. So you have to understand all the approaches. So all the approaches are same. So ASCII code and the character is not something different. They both are pointing to the same thing. So you can simply write an if statement using this. You do not need to know even ASCII codes. So you can simply compare in this way. So it makes a sense like, okay, it is between 97 and 122. If I run this program, so you have to have an idea of ASCII code so that this line will be clear, this highlighted line. So if I give something like a small g, so it will be a lowercase alphabet, obviously. So you can compare in this third approach as well. So whatever approach you are feeling comfortable for you, you can take that approach. Okay. So in future, I will be using those syntax alternatively. So that is the thing. Yeah. So already we have done that. Okay. It has asked for a digit as well. Okay. I missed the digit part. So simply for the digit, I can include another if else, and it will be going from, either you can write 48 to 50, or you can simply write 48 to, I don't know, I have to calculate. So better to use 0 to 9. So these are not the values as it is under code. It is characters. Just remember that. Okay. It is not a value. So don't be puzzled on that. So if I run and if I give some characters like small u, it will be lowercase. If I enter 5 as a character from the keyboard, like the other alphabets, like the other characters, if I enter 5, it is just a character, remember. So it will be showing like, okay, sorry, I didn't change the context. It is digit. Sorry. So if I run this program once again, and if I enter 5, then it will be saying like it is a digit. Okay, got it. If I give capital W, say, it will be showing uppercase. Okay. So you can play with these characters and ASCII code alternatively. Okay. There is no problem. So enter an uppercase character and convert it into lowercase. So that is very interesting. So if I ask, if I request a user to enter some character, and after that I will check if it is uppercase, then I will convert it into lowercase. But before that, if the user hasn't entered the character between A to Z, I will just simply say not an uppercase character. So cannot convert it into lowercase. Obviously, if you have not given any uppercase, how can I convert? But if it is uppercase, what to do? If it is uppercase, so you can see the difference between capital A and small a is 97 minus 65. What is the answer? It is 32. So always it is the same. From capital B to small b, it is plus 32. If I write small b, it is plus 32. So always it is plus 32. So I can simply write corresponding lowercase character is I can simply write C plus 32. As I know, I can use this C alternatively with the ASCII code. So C plus 32. So now it is going to make a confusion. Let me show. Computer considers both of character and integers in the same way. Means characters, better to say ASCII codes in the same way. So it will print, if I run this program, and if I suppose enter capital A, it will print the ASCII code by default. Because for computer, the character and ASCII code both are same. I have just presented that in my last program. So computer just think, okay, the last value you need is a ASCII code. So it will print 97 because 97 and small a both are same for computer. So, but you, for this program, you can understand it is not enough if you print the ASCII code only, because for the normal people, they do not know about this ASCII code and all. So you can just simply convert it into character. That's all. If you run this program once again, if I write capital B, so it will be small b in return. You can see the lowercase corresponding lowercase character is small b. Okay. If you do not like this idea, you can take many approaches. Like if it is between A to Z, what you can do, you can first int I equals to C, integer C. You can convert into integer. After that, you can write I equals to I plus 32. You can do that. And after that, you can take another character called output, kind of that will be C plus 32. Okay, as it is character, you have defined OP as character, then it will be enough if you print OP here. But I prefer, believe me, this way, the shortcut. Okay, but if you prefer step by step, you can also follow that way. So OP you can print, that is C plus 32. It is character. So now computer will not print the equivalent ASCII code, it will simply print the character. If I run this code as well, suppose I am giving, okay, some problem is there. Okay, C plus 32, sorry. So it is in a ASCII code, so you have to convert it always. Like here, okay, sorry, convert it into character. As if we have converted it here into integer, character into integer. So when we'll be converting integer into character, obviously we have to give that. But in if condition, in for loop, everywhere it is same. Both will be, means both are equivalent. So if I enter suppose capital D, it will be converted into small d. But I do not like this long way. Okay, so that is the thing. So ASCII code and a character are the same thing that I need to prove actually. So if I go further, it is saying enter an alphabet and print its previous alphabet. So that means if you enter B, it will be showing A. If you enter A is the optimum one. It will be showing capital Z, the last one. So if it is small b, it will be showing small a. So let me take this one. So if the characters are in between A to Z, or if the characters in between, not A to Z, let it be B to Z, and if it is in between small a equals to, sorry, small b, in between small b, and then character in between small z, a composite, if you can remember, we have done that in chapter 2. So either it should be B to Z or in capital, or B to Z in small. So this is going to be your last program, don't worry. So if it is like that, what I need to do, it will be simply char C -1, the previous character. That's all. Now if the character is capital A, obviously I have to print capital Z, because it is some exceptional situation. Later we will put some logic as well, but for the time being we are learning character for the very first time. So you can simply do this in this way, implement this way. So I can simply write else not an alphabet. If it is not between B to Z, if it is not capital A, if it is not small a, obviously it might be something else. It is not an alphabet. So if I run this program, probably you are getting the idea here. The main line is this one. So if I run this program, you can see, okay. So let me give some example, like C, capital C. So it will print capital B, obviously. Okay, I have given the wrong message. I can simply write previous character is. So it is not that important. The main part, it is like char C -1. It is the main part of this program. If I give small c, it will show the output small b. If I give capital A, so it will show me capital Z. Okay, so that's the thing I want to implement. So that is the basic syntax of character. We do not have much, so that's all for the day. So it will be better. It is the door, it is the entry of string programs. So later we will gradually move into the string programs. So before entering into string programs, you have to have a good idea of character, how to take input, how to deal with the characters. So it will be better if you just practice this coding exercise basic from 7.1 chapter. So probably you know from where you can get this. So we have an Facebook group. Let me show you as well. So in that Facebook group, you will be getting some album like front end coding exercise basic. And there, if you go, let me open that group for you. If I go into this group and if you go to media section, in media, if you go to the album, if you go below, you will be getting a album like this, coding exercise basic. And here you will be getting a chapter called 7.1, gradually one by one. So here it is, the character. So you can simply solve this problem. And after that, tomorrow on the next class, we'll be going into this character patterns. So for the time being, just go through that. It is a very simple chapter, and I think you will not be confused because it is very easy. So now all the links will be available in the detail section of this video as well. So you can just have a look into that. If you face any doubts, any issues with this, just let me know in the comment section, or you can send me a mail as well. I will try to reply as soon as possible. So that's all for the day. So yeah, keep learning and keep practicing. Bye for the day.